You've just booked your cruise on P&O's beautiful ship Iona. We're so excited for you, and quite a bit jealous too. In this video, we're going to show you around Iona, show you how things work, and basically give you as much info as we can to make your time on Iona as smooth as possible. Let's waste no more time and get cracking. When you first book your cruise, you will receive a passenger reference number. You need to go to My P&O Cruise online, pop in this booking reference, your name and date of birth, and you're on. About 2 weeks before your cruise, some of the shows and specialty restaurants open for booking. We booked the Headliners Theatre shows, Sindhu, the Beach House and the Limelight Club. You can book on board, but we found a lot had sold out before the cruise. Right, that's enough prep. We want to get on board and see the ship. We sailed from Southampton. When you get to Southampton, you drop your bags off at the allotted time on the allotted baggage pod. It's all really well signposted and easy to navigate. Then it's up into the terminal where you check in, pretty much as you would for a flight. They stamp your boarding pass with a cleared to board, then it's a quick trip through security and you're on this beautiful ship. How's it going, chaps?
Just on board, going to muster station B. It's the first thing you have to do when you get on the ship.
The location of this is on your boarding pass. You then watch the safety presentation in your cabin. Your luggage will be delivered straight to your cabin, but it's a good idea to have a change of top in your hand luggage in case it takes time. Now, Iona is massive, and it can be a little daunting when you first board. Let's try to make this easier. Basically, the pointy end is the front or forward, and the flat end is the back or aft. The clever chaps at P&O have subtly colour-coded the stairwells and lifts, so you'll always know where you are. It goes like this. If it's blue dots on the stairs, then you're at the front of the ship. White dots on the stairs means you're in the middle, and the red dots on your stairs means you're at the back of the ship. Isn't that right, Wills? This colour scheme also continues into the artwork in your cabin. So if one evening you come home and the colour of dots in your room has changed, you've either gone wrong or got lucky. Right, let's get this holiday started, and it's on to food, everyone's favourite part of a cruise. Iona has loads of included dining options. Let's start with the main dining rooms. These are called Aqua, Opal, Pearl and Coral. All of these are on deck 6 aft, apart from Coral. That's on deck 7 aft. Remember, the flat end with the red dots. These restaurants all serve the same menu and do breakfast, lunch and dinner. You can just turn up, but you may get sent away with a pager if they're busy. To avoid this, from the comfort of your cabin, you can join a virtual queue on the My P&O Holiday interface, which we'll talk more about later. We found there to be a great choice of food, and the quality was good. There is a dress code each night, but it's mainly smart casual, except for one formal night. Just dress smartish, you'll be fine. Let's move on. One of the most talked about places to eat on the ship is the Keys on deck 8 midship. Here you'll find fish and chips at Hook, Line and Vinegar, Asian Kitchen and the American Grill. This does get busy at lunchtime, especially on a sea day. Just around the corner you'll find a selection of desserts and also tea, coffee and water. If you come here at breakfast time, you'll find pancakes and waffles, an egg station for omelettes and also full English. We often found it quieter here at breakfast and preferred it to the buffet. Talking of buffets, that's on deck 16, midship to aft, and it's called the Horizon. This serves breakfast, lunch and dinner. There is plenty of choice, but we did find that there wasn't an organised flow of people around the various parts of the buffet, resulting in confused queuing and sometimes irate passengers. Clear labelling would have helped, and also a rethink on traffic. We did enjoy the food here, but didn't eat here often because of this. We also missed the theming of the buffet, as we've experienced on other cruises, such as Asian night or Spanish night. Also on deck 16, in the Sky Dome near the pool, is Taste 360. This does fast food and is a firm favourite with the kids at lunchtime. Even this kid enjoyed it. There is an area called Grab and Go, which is a self-service sandwich bar on deck 16, opposite the infinity pool. This wasn't in operation on our cruise. Maybe it's more a seasonal, good weather thing. If you've watched our diary vlogs of this cruise, you'll see it rained. A lot. Another lovely restaurant is the Olive Grove on deck 8 aft, starboard side. This is an Italian restaurant. You can eat here all-inclusive, but there are a few dishes on the menu that you pay an extra supplement for. We do recommend booking this as soon as you're on board, as it gets busy. We managed to get in without booking, but we had to wait for an hour for a table. The Olive Grove segues us nicely onto the specialty restaurants on board. There are plenty of these to choose from, And if you fancy one, we do advise booking before you cruise. We tried a few during our cruise. First up, we did the beach house. It only costs £7.60 per person to dine here. Food is Caribbean beach barbecue inspired. There are a few items on the menu that come with a supplement, but we did just fine with fajitas and a fish basket. We found the decor in the beach house pretty nondescript, but it was a lovely change from the main dining room. Another restaurant we tried was Sindhu. This is a contemporary Indian restaurant on Deck 8 midship. The ambience in this restaurant was so calming and it felt very special. We paid a cover charge of £10 per person, and then everything on the menu is priced individually. Including drinks, our 3-course meal came to £44.80, so it is a little more expensive, but the food we had here was the best food we had on the ship. We loved it. The restaurants that we didn't try were the Epicurean. This is a fine dining restaurant and is a journey of discovery of fine British ingredients. On our next P&O cruise, we will definitely be dining here. In the atrium, on Deck 8, you'll find the Keel and Cow. This venue offers a gastro-pub type menu and is known for its steaks. Although the menu looked great, what put us off this restaurant was the fact that it was in the atrium and felt like an airport type of eating place where people are wandering past. It does have good reviews though. Other places are Vistas for coffee and snacks and Ripples and Sundays for ice creams, but as we're not really into posh coffee and it was too cold for ice cream, we didn't try these. Just a quick shout out to the chef's table. This happens on celebration night and is included in your cruise fare, but you do need to book. We booked before our cruise. This is a 3-course meal with the menu created by Marco Pierre White alongside Ollie Smith's expert wine recommendations. The food was excellent, but unfortunately, holding it in the Horizon buffet really took away from the experience P&O wanted to be. Lastly, and this is going to cross us over into entertainment as well, is the Limelight Club. This is a kind of dinner show, night cabaret venue. Prices vary depending on who is on. On our cruise was the comedian impressionist Deborah Stevenson. We paid £20 per person for the evening and thought it excellent value. It's an evening of entertainment over a 3-course meal. We enjoyed an informal question and answer, live music, and Deborah's act. We found the food mostly excellent, and the evening felt really special. So that's food and entertainment in the Limelight sorted. Let's talk about another favourite topic, drinks. The only inclusive drinks on Iona are tea and coffee in the Horizon buffet, juice at breakfast in the Horizon, and there are numerous water stations around the ship where you can fill your bottle. P&O do offer drinks packages. They're not the most straightforward in the world, and even on the deluxe package, there are still some drinks in some bars that aren't included. For a heads up, a small glass of wine will cost you between £6 and £8. Beers on tap around £5 to £5.50, spirits around £7 with mixers, and cocktails around £7 to £9. This is a really good chart that shows you what different packages include. Estimate what you drink and then see if it's worth it for you. Do note, if you're sharing a cabin, you will both have to have a package. Now we've cleared that up, let's take a look at the bars around the ship. Right at the top is the Crow's Nest on Deck 17 forward. A lovely place to read and look out over the sea by day, and a cocktail lounge by night. On Deck 16, you'll find the Laguna Bar and the Crystal Bar in the Sky Dome, and on the mezzanine level, the Sky Bar. Perfect for a cheeky beer if your kids are starting to do your head in. The clubhouse on Deck 8 offers lots of daytime entertainment, but when the lights go down, the party starts. We enjoyed a few drinks here over our week. Brody's is the ship's pub on Deck 7. There's lots of entertainment on here throughout the day, so if the kids are really doing your head in, you can escape here, grab a pint and watch the football. Sorted. The Glass House is a wine bar you'll find on Deck 7. We believe it serves food, but we didn't eat here. The cellar door at the Glass House is where the wine tasting sessions are held. Once again though, to us it just feels like it's part of the atrium. On Deck 6 in the atrium you've got Vistas for your coffees and the Emerald Bar. Also on Deck 6 is Anderson's, complete with its own gin distillery. There's also the 710 Club on Deck 6, but this is an evening only venue and requires booking. When you order a drink, your cruise card is swiped for payment, and you'll see these drinks on your cabin statement, which incidentally you can check at any time on your My Holiday site on your phone. Our favourite bar for a quiet drink was Sindhu on Deck 8, but we must also mention the outdoor bars of Panorama, Beachcomber, Sunset and Infinity. We were on a cold cruise in February, so these weren't open much. We managed a cheeky drink in Infinity though, and this would definitely be our go-to bar on a hot cruise. Right, now we know where our food and drink is coming from, let's get on to entertainment. Every evening, a Horizon leaflet is delivered to your cabin. This breaks down the next day into time blocks and tells you everything going on around the ship that day. We like to highlight ours, as it's quite a lot to take in. So continuing on to evening entertainment, as well as the Limelight Club, on decks 6 and 7 forward you'll find the Headliners Theatre. The show team on board put on musical theatre style shows here. We saw 3 different shows by them. We mostly enjoyed them, but were a little underwhelmed with them overall. There are multiple performances each night, but we do advise booking before your cruise. Other acts also perform in the theatre. On our cruise were comedy magicians Cain and Abel, a vocal harmony group, Remixed, and the Animal Guys, a family show the kids will love, so something for everyone. Another performance space is the Sky Dome. Here they have aerial shows by the Sky Dome cast. We saw Rise, Spark and Tribu, and they were visually stunning. We also attended the Shh show in the Sky Dome. This was supposed to be an immersive experience created by Nicole Schertzinger, where you could lose yourself in the night. It wasn't. It was disjointed, confusing, and served the most disgusting signature cocktail we've ever tasted. We will have a video all about that experience soon. Do check it out. We also saw vocalist and violinist Charlie Blue in the Sky Dome. She was excellent. There are solo singers and instrumentalists in some of the lounges throughout the evening. We enjoyed piano vocalist Rhian Ferragan in the Crow's Nest and the band Pulse in the Clubhouse. We also saw comedian Rory O'Hanlon in the Clubhouse one evening.
So give us a shout if you're from England, actually. And Welsh people. I think they're multiplying on the ship. They just can't stop Welsh people, can they?
We found him very funny, and it was a good show. Iona is a huge ship. She holds 5,200 guests when at capacity. But don't worry, even by day there's plenty for everyone to do. Activities available whilst we were on board included a craft club, deck games, deck sports, pools and jacuzzis, quizzes, bingo and dance classes. There's a spa on board and even a 4-screen cinema showing some properly great films. There's a library for some quiet space, a casino if you fancy a flutter, and various guest speakers, so something for everyone. There's even a gym on deck 5 if you feel like burning off all that cruise food. We did think about it this time, but didn't go. To be honest, we didn't do a lot of it. We swam, walked, jacuzzied, attended one guest speaker, and then the rest of the time, soaked up the atmosphere. We did stumble into the kids' magic show with Count Backwards in the Clubhouse. We did what any sensible adult would do. We drank wine. Although our cruise was a cold weather one, we must mention the open deck spaces. The jogging track is up on deck 18. 7 laps around it equates 1 mile. We did enjoy this, although we walked. Our preferred deck walk was on deck 8, Promenade Deck. Here you can walk around the whole ship. It takes about 10.5 minutes per lap, but it can get windy. We really enjoyed swimming on this cruise. I know, outside in February. Our favourite pool was the Beachcomber pool on deck 18. This is an adults-only pool and is slightly heated. The Retreat is an outdoor area for adults only next to this, but this wasn't open on our cruise as there wasn't much call for sitting outside. We also tried both infinity pools at the back of the ship and many of the whirlpools. There are 18 of these on Iona. The only pool we didn't try was the indoor pool in the Sky Dome. Due to the weather, this was always crowded. On deck 6, opposite the Limelight Club, you'll find the art gallery. There were some really cool paintings. Sadly, we didn't have a spare 10,000 to buy any. We did enjoy a talk about art heists through history from the auctioneer. If you're into shopping, on deck 7 you'll find a whole plethora of shops. If you've forgotten anything whilst packing, like sun cream or deodorant, etc., you'll want the harbour shop on deck 6 in the atrium. But back up to deck 7. There are designer shops selling bags, clothes and watches, Some of those watches were 30,000. You do know this is a budget Brits cruise ship, P&O. You can also find sweets and all your P&O merchandise too. Do remember, the shops can only open when Iona is out at sea. Whilst we're on Deck 7, this is also where you find reception. We found it was quite tucked away and not as obvious to find as other ships we've been on. Next to reception is the photo gallery. We have to say, the photographers weren't as in-your-face on Iona as other cruises we've been on. They weren't at the bottom of the gangway at every port, which was nice. The only time we really noticed them was on celebration night, doing pictures of everyone in their glad rags. Don't worry, you don't need to dress up if you don't want to. Next, on to cabins. We booked the cheapest we could get, which was on Deck 4 forward. We found it was plenty big enough for us. The cases fit beautifully under the bed. Talking of beds, this is, hands down, the comfiest bed we've ever encountered on a cruise ship. You get a fridge, handy for the litre of wine per person you can bring on board, and tea and coffee making facilities. You get 3 UK sockets and 1 European socket. So if you've a lot to charge, do pack a 4-gang. Apparently, there are USB sockets under the lights by your bed, but we learnt this after our cruise. Useful? There's plenty of hanging space in the wardrobes. Even though there are no drawers by your bed, these little shelves did the job. There was a variety of channels on the TV, but who wants to watch TV when you're on a cruise? The bathroom was modern, and the shower was once again the best we'd had at sea. One of the best things about this cabin was it was only a few seconds walk from the forward lifts. And being at the bottom of the ship, when you summoned a lift, you could always get in it. By the time you got to Deck 9, more often than not, the lifts were full. Result. Next, on to Wi-Fi. We bought our Wi-Fi packages before we boarded. There are 2 packages, £12 per day, which is basically everything except sending videos and music streaming, or £18 a day for the ultimate package. You don't need an internet package to access the My P&O Holiday intranet. Just open up your browser on your smartphone and type in My P&O Holiday and you're good to go. To get onto the internet, on My P&O, click on Internet Packages. Select Sign In. You'll need your name, cabin number and date of birth. You then create a PIN and you're in. You can then send amazing pictures home to make everyone jealous, or share that it's raining as much here as it is in Wales. We found the connection and speed of the internet great wherever we were on the ship. We haven't mentioned the kids clubs on board, as we don't have kids, so don't know much about them. All age groups did seem to be well catered for though. Iona is a brilliant ship with so much to do on board. In the blink of an eye, your cruise will be over and it will be time to disembark. This makes us sad. You can do things the traditional way and leave your case outside your door the night before. Or you can do what we did and choose self-disembarkation, where you take your cases off yourself. Our window to do this was between 7:30 and 8:30 a.m, and it was so quick. Are you happy to be going home, kids? Thought not. If you've gone down the traditional route, your bags are laid out in deck order in the terminal. Everyone is pretty much off the ship by 10 a.m. Then it's back home by whatever mode of transport you choose. It was a train for us. Cheers. So would we recommend a cruise on P&O's Iona? Absolutely. The biggest selling point with P&O is the base price of the cruises. The value is unbeatable. You can have a perfectly good week with everything that's included. Or you can set yourself a budget so you can still experience a great value holiday and try some different things. The ship is immaculate, the staff are friendly, and there is loads to do. We did so much on board in our 7 days, yet there was still so much more we wanted to experience. Ah well, we'll have to go again. We do have 4 cruise diary vlogs of our week on board, so do check those out to see our experiences firsthand. We hope you've enjoyed this overview of P&O's Iona. Do like this video and subscribe to the channel for more content like this. If you're off on Iona soon, have the best holiday ever. It's a cheers from us.